Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey,
Film Attackers here, and
my sister
today
been
I'm giving
getting
you
you
guys
into
my
more
first
trouble.
impressions video of Need for Speed Heat. I have been a long-time fan of Need for Speed for a long time now, and it's been kind of going downhill since, Need for Speed 2015. So, with this, I was really skeptical of getting Heat, but my expectations were blown away when I actually purchased the game and started playing it. So I'm going to go over what I think about the game so far and do what I think is the best Need for Speed in a long time. So Need for Speed Heat is basically what they said was like Most Wanted mixed with Underground. And it is. This is basically a mixture of Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Most Wanted. The good Most Wanted, not the bad Most Wanted, but the good Most Wanted. And as you can see here, they added a bunch of new stuff. For instance, the character creator. You can't create your own character. Like you put clothing on them, but it still makes your character more unique. It makes them more unique. That's what I've been wanting in a Need for Speed game. It makes me feel like I'm playing Test Drive Unlimited. Where yes, they went to the stores to buy clothing. I really wish they would have added clothing stores in this game. It's whatever. You buy your clothes at the garage, but like I said, I'm not complaining. They added something new, and I think it works. It makes every single person's character look unique in multiplayer, so you're not feeling like you're playing as the same person. This is what should have been a Need for Speed since 2015, but they never added it. I think they added it because of Forza Horizon 4. Forza Horizon 4 finally added a whole thing of clothing, but they did it very poorly. I think Need for Speed Heat does it very well. In Horizon 4, you had to spin wheels to get certain clothing items. So you could be getting a bunch of clothing items you don't want. And you're just like, great, now I have all these shitty clothing, and all the clothing I do want is not behind a wheel spin. I can't purchase them with in-game money. In Need for Speed Heat, there is no wheel spin or clothing. What you do is you go to your garage, you go to customize character, and you select the clothing you want, and you purchase it with in-game money. It's that easy. That's all you have to do. This is handled very better. This is like way better than Forza Horizon 4 treated it. With Forza Horizon 4, I just felt like I had to keep getting wheel spins to get the clothing items that I want. In this game, I just straight up buy them. I buy them with in-game money. And you may be thinking, well, does that mean there's microtransactions in Need for Speed Heat if it's worse that way? No. In fact, Need for Speed Heat released with absolutely no microtransactions. Shocker, I know, but this is not new. Star Wars The Fallen Order, another EA game, actually launched with no microtransactions. We had two EA games this year releasing with no microtransactions. Mind blowing, I know. But these two games have been selling very well because of that. It's EA changing what they've been doing, and I hope they keep doing this. If they want to add microtransactions, make it cosmetic only. Don't do what Payback did and make us buy loot boxes to earn performance parts. That's not how it should work. And speaking of performance parts, there are no more performance cards. You now go into your performance and buy the upgrades you want, and if you can because it's locked, you go out into the nighttime and you race for rep to unlock more parts and cars. Again, this is how it should have been in Need for Speed Payback. This game is basically what Need for Speed Payback should have been. As much as I think Need for Speed Payback is a decent game with a decent story and a decent characters, it's nothing compared to Heat. So as I leave the garage, you have now a selection. You can pick go into daytime or nighttime, and I think this still runs on a full day and night cycle. I believe it still runs on a day and night cycle, but you can choose to start what time of day you want. So during the daytime, you do sanctioned races. It's all legal racing. You earn cash for your racing. Cops don't come after you. It's basically safe. It's safer racing. It's mainly for like, oh, I want to buy this car, but I don't have enough money. You go race during the day, but during the night is where the developers said this is basically Dying Light mixed with Need for Speed. During the nighttime, when you race, cops are more aggressive. You race for rep and not cash, but cops are more aggressive. The racing AI is more aggressive, and it's just more difficult. It's basically Dying Light where it's hard to survive at night. That's how it is in Need for Speed Heat. You're not even supposed to be out at night. If cops see your car, they're coming after you because you're not supposed to be out. It's all illegal, which is fantastic. This is how it should have been done. I like this. It makes it feel like an actual real world with real police. Um, and the way they portray the police department in this game is kind of iffy because they make them very aggressive in this game, and even in the story, they're complete assholes. But it's a very over the top story, so I can forgive it for that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick nighttime. As you see, this game looks phenomenal. It's beautiful. This is the most beautiful Need for Speed game so far. I love it. And if, in case you're wondering, no, there is not a first-person cockpit, no driving mode. I wish there was, but there wasn't. I really think the next Need for Speed, they should just go ahead and add a cockpit view. They should just go ahead and do it. Fans have been asking for it for a long time. Let's just go ahead and add it. So, welcome to Palm City. This is basically your setting for my for Need for Speed Heat. This is set in Miami, a fictional version of Miami, Florida. As you see, this city, the map, decently sized. It's not too small and it's not too big. It's perfect to me. It's perfect for a Need for Speed game. This is how big a map for Need for Speed should be. It doesn't really overwhelm you, but at the same time, you can traverse the map really easily. You don't have to worry about driving for 20 minutes to get to one place to another. It's very quick to get across the map, and it's actually a pretty big map for Need for Speed. So, the driving in this game feels great. It feels like they fine-tuned it since Payback, which is a good thing because the driving in Payback was but it feels like they really fine-tuned this game, and it feels better to drive. Feels like you have more control of your car. The only thing I have a problem with the driving is the drifting. The drifting still feels the same from Payback. They haven't really changed much on that. It's fine, you know, it's whatever. It's not a big deal to me. I can handle the drifting in that game. But if you didn't much care for drifting in Payback, you probably won't care for drifting in Heat. Now, as you can also hear, the sound design of this game is absolutely amazing. This is a great sounding racing game. This sounds way better than Forza Horizon 4 to me. Not only because of the car sounds sound fantastic in Heat. They really outbeat Forza Horizon 4 in that department again as well. But the soundtrack in this game is phenomenal. You have Logic, you have a Rick Ross, you have Post Malone, you have a bunch of these good rap songs in this game and good trap songs in this game. And the soundtrack actually changed between day and night. In daytime, they have more upbeat, trap music, electronic music. But at nighttime, you have the rap music and like the hard-hitting trap music, which makes it feel like you're actually illegally street racing. So this is going to be the racing in the game. And they did one major change I absolutely love to Need for Speed. And this is going to be one of my third and final points in this video. I won't be able to show you the whole race because my video recording cut out halfway through the race, but what you didn't see in the racing is that I actually overlap racers, which means there is no longer rubber banding in Need for Speed. And what rubber banding is basically a programmed AI to where if you go too far ahead of them, the AI gives them a quick speed boost and they zoom right up to you, make the race more dense. In Need for Speed Heat, they completely removed the rubber banding. You can now overlap other racers. It actually feels realistic. It actually feels great. This is what I've been wanting Need for Speed for a long time, because I hate rubber banding in video games. It feels cheap and it feels lazy. So to some negatives before I end this video and give my final verdict. The AI for the pedestrians during the night are fucking retarded. They are not good. They are not smart. They will purposely run through your car to slow you down. It makes the race more challenging. I really wish they would have done away with that. I really wish they would have done realistic ones, so they would swerve out the way, which is what realistic people would do if they see a race car hurtling 200 miles an hour directly at them. They will swerve out the way, not swerve into the car. As you see here, they're not moving out the way. Sometimes it is kind of easy to escape the cops. There's already YouTube videos about it. I hope they patch that out soon. But what do I think of Need for Speed Heat? So far, I think this is the best Need for Speed we've gotten since Most Wanted in 2005. I'm going to go that far. There's a decent amount of customization. There's really good sound design in this game. Really good story, really good voice acting all around. And this game is definitely, to me, worth the money so far. I've put in 6 hours into it. And Need for Speed Heat is definitely, it's a great start for EA. This and Star Wars Fallen Order is a great start for EA to come back from their shitty corporation. It's really a good comeback for them, and I really hope they continue to make more games like this. So far, definitely worth the $60 of that EA Access. It's only $53. I would say go out and get this on Black Friday when it's $30. And I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time.